Hello everyone, welcome to Chicago Reacts. My name is Kelsey. I am an actor and voice actor in Chicago. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, be sure to do that. If you want to hit the notification bell, you can do that too. Just depends on how much you want to be annoyed by our uploads. But if you like it, then it makes sense that you're here. So subscribe, get notifications if you want, and yeah, thanks for joining us. Today, I am going to be reacting to, just in time for Thanksgiving, The Real Story of the Pilgrims by the one and only JonTron. Yeah, Pilgrims. Who, what, when, where, why? What's the real story according to JonTron? We're gonna find out.
I know you already know about Raid Shadow Legends, but it's for good reason. It's because it's one of the top 3 ranked RPGs on the Google Play Store.
Wow.
The game is crazy popular with almost 15 million downloads in the last 6 months. With over
That
400
actually is
champions
nuts.
for you to collect and personally customize and 1 million champion
Oh,
builds.
Nun
there
Lady
are
looked
endless
dope.
options to fit your playstyle. And once you've built up your champions, you can claim glory in the PvP arena or raid with friends in a clan. And the best part? It's free. With new champions every month and a progression system to reward you with free champions and equipment, you'll be able to learn and collect along the way. And once you've completed all the missions, you'll be rewarded with one of the best legendary champions in the game.
Nice.
Arbiter. Raid has huge plans for the next 6 months, so what are you waiting for? Get down there to my description, click the link, and download the game today. And if you're a new player, you'll be rewarded with 100,000 silver, 2 clan boss keys,
That sounds
10
like a lot of
mystery shards,
silver.
and 1 free champion, Executioner. Okay, thanks.
He has
Bye.
a metal beard. That's cool. Oh, Thanksgiving. What a time.
Thanksgiving, one of America's most time-honored traditions.
I'm personally offended by the fact that there were cranberries in that corn. What is that
Time
nonsense?
to come together with family, friends, and a dog. I guess if you have one. But where did all this good stuff come from? Is this
It's a lot of
picture
prop
accurate?
food.
Is what I'm saying? This picture doesn't look historically accurate to me. Maybe it is. I don't know. I'm just saying. But that's why I'm here today. Because I have the distinct honor to be able to tell all of you out there today the real story, the untold story of the Pilgrims.
If it's untold, how would you know about it, homie? Whoa! Oh, not in the rice.
Our story
Stuffing's
begins
getting
here
all over.
in a new world, far, far away.
It looks like the beginning of Shrek.
Chapter 1. A very questionable voyage.
Oh, look at that
Yes,
person.
the Pilgrims. Those intrepid few.
Can you imagine if, like, that were, like, life-size, like, to scale? Like, can you imagine what the Pilgrims would think if there was just, like, a giant man standing in the ocean next to their boat wearing an eagle shirt? Do you think they would have any, like, concept for understanding what that is? Or would they just be like, damn, that's a giant man?
The great founding settlers of this nation, willing to risk life and limb to sail across the Atlantic Ocean to escape religious persecution in sight of a better lives for themselves and their families, and to forge a new path in the new world for generations to come.
Not the Halloween
Beautiful story.
costume.
Yes, indeed. One that we commemorate every year here in America with the observance of Thanksgiving. If by beautiful, you happen to mean literally that's not how it happened. Didn't happen that way. Well, you thought it was about this? You thought it was about this? You're fucking wrong! I mean, the story of the Pilgrims is technically true, in the same way that it's technically true that Ridley Scott has not completely lost his mind. Stop hurting me! You see, here in America, in school we learned that the Pilgrims were kind of like the first Americans. Kind of like an origin story, like Adam and Eve, only instead of it, being about the Bible, it's about a real historical country.
The first white Americans.
You could just
And not even, because Vikings were there before.
look that up.
They
Not
shouldn't
only were
stay
the
very
Pilgrims
long.
not the first Europeans to reach the North American continent, they weren't even the first English settlers. In fact, they didn't want to be settlers at all. They were headed for the already established English colony of Jamestown, Virginia. Anybody heard about that? Anyone know about that? What the fuck is Jamestown? We don't learn about that, but we learn about the Pilgrims who missed Jamestown. They whiffed 200 miles.
They sure
up
did.
The fucking country to Massachusetts. That's right, my dudes. Unfortunately,
Fantastic
our beloved
reference
Pilgrims
image.
just whiffed it. Okay? They didn't mean to go up there. It was just a rather strong wind. Who's heard about Jamestown? Sergio thought it was Jonestown. I explained to him, no, that's where
very different.
Jim Jones forced.
Also, I've heard of Jamestown. Do people not know about Jamestown?
A bunch of innocent people that drink cyanide. Different place. It was the first English colony.
Very, yeah.
What'd I say?
Cyanide.
Cyanide was in the Kool-Aid.
Cyanide was in the Kool-Aid, but it was actually off-brand Flavor Aid.
You think the Kool-Aid killed him? I know it's shit. But it's not deadly. What was in the Jonestown Kool-Aid?
Valium, chloral hydrate, cyanide, and phenergan.
Cyanide and phenergan.
What's Fernurgan?
I'm just saying, it wasn't some bad
It sounds like
Splenda.
something the Swedish
You know,
chef
from
would
now
say.
on, when you look at a painting of the Pilgrims landing at Plymouth Rock, looking all fierce and stalwart in the face of untamed wilderness, think of them less as being like, we finally made it. Now, we forge onward. And more like, fuck Jim, did you bring the map? I'm not 100% on this, but I think we might be literally nowhere in the known world at all, and all we have is no food and these Dutch buckle hats. Which brings me to my next point, the Dutch years. That's right.
Sure.
There were Dutch years. How were the Dutch years? Well, I'll tell you. So you know that whole song and
Probably.
dance about how the Pilgrims left England
Okay.
to escape religious persecution? Yeah, well, that's true, I guess, if you account for the fact that the religious persecution they were escaping was brought on because they wanted the religious freedom to restrict the religious freedom from anyone in their general area. To put it in layman's terms for you, the Pilgrims were basically a cult. And so the King of England was like, look, you're free to do that weird, ooky, spooky cult shit or whatever, but just, I don't want to see it, all right? Do it in the Netherlands or something. You see, the Pilgrims were actually well known as being a more radical sect of the Puritans. And I don't know how that's possible. What, they
Yeah,
think
I
the
don't know
Puritans
either.
weren't pure enough? It's in the fucking name. The Pilgrims were like the punk rockers who thought no one else was punk
Make
enough, no matter
Bible
what
even
they did.
purer.
Oh my God, sorry, what?
That I can get down with.
The whole time, I've been calling them the Pilgrims? My bad, I should have known better, man. I should be calling them by, I'm sorry, I should be referring to them by their real name that they made up for themselves and wanted to be called the Separatists. That's right, the Separatists! Sure. Didn't learn that in History 101. This is the name of the kind of group you definitely want in your country. What's wrong, Kingy? You scared of your head on a pike in the middle of the capital city for all to gawk at? What, it's just a name, huh? You scared of a name? You hear that? King James has nameophobia, everyone! Fuck you to the Netherlands, is what he said. Get the fuck to Holland. Get to Holland. I'm the king. So, not being able to practice their radical faith in peace in England, they exiled themselves to the Netherlands to live out their days amongst the Dutch folk. That's right, they up and moved across the channel to a town called Leiden, which I'm sure you all know and love as a little slice of heaven between Voorburg and Hoofddorp. Listen, Dutch people, you stop.
Hoofddorp. How do you pronounce that with the two D's next to each other? Hoofddorp.
Stop sounding like that. I'll stop making fun of you. Fingers crossed behind my back. You're never gonna be stopped being made fun of. I'm never gonna leave the Dutch alone. So finally, thanks to the unprecedented tolerance of the Dutch, the Pilgrims could practice their intolerance in peace. Until shortly thereafter, where they literally said, "Can you fucking believe these Dutch people?" Before you know it, our kids are gonna be
too
talking
liberal
like that.
for the Pilgrims.
This literally happened, by the way. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but they were the only people to be nice enough to take them in. And they just kicked it in their face. Yes, that's right. The Pilgrims were so actually disgusted by Holland that they were convinced it would actually be better to cross the Atlantic Ocean.
To go camping for the rest of their lives.
Of questionable functionality, so they could live somewhere in the woods, in the middle of nowhere, and basically do what they were already doing in Europe, except without running water.
Chapter 3. The First Thanksgiving.
So that's right. For some reason, instead of learning about
Plymouth
Jamestown
Rock.
As the founding of America, we learned
There he is,
about
the giant man
a
again.
ragtag band of incompetent, Dutch-hating, cultist English separatists who almost all died because their boat sprang a leak and they forgot to learn how to steer before departing. And the only reason they survived is because a nice Native American man named Tisquantum, most of you may know him as Squanto, some of you may know him as Sasquatch, but you're wrong, came along and was like, "Hey, I noticed you guys were like starving over here. Like, do you want me to show you how to like grow some freaking corn?" I'm not trying to intrude. I'm just kind of feel bad, dude. Your little boy's a skeleton. You put a little fish in the ground and the corn comes out, and then your little boy's not a skeleton anymore.
Yeah.
All right, okay. I've slayed enough American sacred cows for one day, or should I say sacred American turkeys. I shouldn't say that. This is a high holy holiday coming up, Thanksgiving, and I'll make good. To show my patriotism, I'm gonna become a pilgrim myself. That's right, we're going to Plymouth Rock. There she is!
Is that
That's Plymouth Rock. Seriously, this is Plymouth Rock?
just a little rock?
Why do they got it in a cage? It's jailed
Don't want it
like
to
a
escape.
Freaking zoo animal.
It
I
can't
seriously
escape.
didn't know. It's just a rock.
Yeah, I have a friend who like went and like did the whole like, oh, like let's go see like Plymouth Rock thing, and they were like, yeah, it's just a dumb little rock. I did not know, however, that it was in a cage.
It's an actual
That's very funny.
rock. How did I
Yeah.
know this was the one? I thought Plymouth Rock was more of a metaphorical thing, like, you know, a big crag on the side of a mountain, not like a literal.
It's just a little rock.
This is barely Plymouth Stone, my dude. Don't they just look like they're having the time of their lives?
That woman's like, why did I take a road trip here?
Not such a bad life, though, you know. He gets fed a couple times a day. Every now and then, Robert comes down to give him a power washing. All right, honey, I'll see you later. The rock got a bit dirty from sitting there. Dude, you could just steal Plymouth Rock, dude. Okay, I'm not saying you should, but you could just steal Plymouth Rock, dude. This
Yeah,
rock clearly needs some
technically
company.
could.
God knows it needs some company. So I'm just gonna chill now with Plymouth over here, and you know Rob's gonna stop by later with some White Claw. We're gonna hang out, play some drinking games. He didn't hear from me, but he can't hold his liquor. Okay? Gets drunk, rolls around. You gotta dodge him. Your toes get all smashed up.
This bit is so long, John.
Okay, guys. I'm not sure what I do on this channel anymore, and I'm sure you're also not sure. But fuck you, huh?
Cool. Cool. I was expecting, like, I did not know the thing about the fact that they just were in the Netherlands forever. But other than that, I'm like, cool, thanks, John. The Plymouth Rock bit that stretched out forever. It was funny. But man, yeah, cool. Thanksgiving. It's a holiday. And yeah, thanks for joining me for learning about the real story of the Pilgrims. If you liked that, make sure to, as I said earlier, like and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you next time.